Hey everyone, it's Kara here from Boho, and I'm back with a brand new plan with me for you. So I know I've been a little quiet in the last few weeks, and I just wanted to give y'all a little update. I've still kind of been on a bit of a roller coaster, like a hormonal roller coaster after coming off of birth control. I have some really good days and some really crappy days. So I definitely haven't been quite as productive as I used to be. Luckily, this week I'm kind of starting to feel a lot more like my normal self. So I'm really excited about that. But as we go through this plan with me, as always, I'm going to flip through the month of March, and you're going to see a lot of, let's just say, sparseness. There were quite a few days in a row where I didn't really plan at all. And it was just one of those months where I pretty much did the bare minimum to get by just because of how I was feeling. So keep that in mind as we flip through. But we're going to start with my monthly overview for the month of March. One thing I did keep up with was my habit tracker. So I like to see my patterns and what I did well at and what I did not do so well at throughout the month. So I can see here that waking up by 6, I did pretty good. Only a couple days where I slept in. My miracle mornings so far, I've only missed one day this month. Riding my Peloton and strength training both, there's been quite a bit of time where I have not worked out at all, mainly just because I've been feeling kind of a lot of this month. Prenatal vitamins, I've been taking those every single day. Eating clean, I've done pretty good at. I've had a few days here and there where I've just kind of eaten whatever I wanted. And then going to bed by 11, I did pretty good on that as well. And then my overall goals for the month of March kind of went out the window entirely based on how I was feeling most of the month. So finishing my fountain pen series, I did not get to, but I'm going to do that in April for sure, now that I'm hopefully going to stay feeling my normal self. Working on my lettering course, I did quite a bit on that, so that's something I've been working on. And then doing one video and one blog post per week. Obviously, that has not been happening either. So overall, again, March was just kind of an month for me. But I have gotten a lot of work done behind the scenes, not necessarily creating content, but working on designing new products for the shop. I've also been working on a lot of digital products and also working on a digital planner, which I'll talk a little bit more about later on in this video. But let's move on. My gratitude log is something that I did not really keep up with. I basically, and you'll see as I flip through, those days that I was just feeling awful, I basically just came in and did my habit tracker and got out of my journal. I was just not feeling it most of this month. The Boho Berry Challenge, I did not participate in this month either, unfortunately. Up next, we have one of my first weekly spreads. This one is mostly filled out, so that's good. This is where I went to PlannerCon. I was feeling really, really good this week. That was right at the end of February and beginning of March. Up next, I have a spread that I did for my strengths. I took this assessment at gallupstrengthcenter.com, but it's basically the Strengths Finder quiz. It gives you your top 5 strengths. So I wanted to lay these out in my journal. So my top 5 are achiever, input, learner, intellection, and futuristic. And then I just wrote out the description of each of those strengths. On the next page, I had Amy Tangerine. I got the pleasure of meeting Amy Tan at PlannerCon in San Francisco, and she signed my journal for me, and I really, really loved it. Eventually I'm going to come back and do something else to decorate this page, but I just love having her in my journal here. So Amy, if you're watching, love you, girl. All right, on the right-hand side here, I have Women Who Inspire Me. I did this spread in honor of International Women's Day. So I have a bunch of people, both people that I know and people that I look up to that inspire me a ton. So I have those all in one spread here. This page was some notes that I had for my bullet journal workshop that I did in San Francisco at PlannerCon, and I just had this open while I was speaking, so I made sure that I touched on all the points that I wanted to touch on during the workshop. This was this was a weekly spread, and one thing you'll note, this is how out of my mind I was. In a couple of Yeah, I think this next one too. I wrote February as the month up top, even though it was dated for March, 31 days, but I wrote February on my calendar, even though it was the month of March. So here, this is basically my setup for the week, but I didn't do any journaling. I didn't do anything extra up top. I wasn't tracking my moods. This next week, pretty much the same. It's pretty sparse. So I had my task lists and everything, but I really didn't use my weekly spread very much. Another week that's more of the same. At least I finally wrote March at the top. And then this next spread is for the Boho Berry meetup. I'm planning a meetup at our office in New Jersey. We have a great co-working office space where we have a huge meeting area. They do catering. It's just a really, really nice space. And we've been talking about hosting a meetup there for a really, really long time. So we're thinking of making this kind of like a small convention of sorts, where we'll have workshops, we'll have swag, possibly some extra vendors, a little social hour, and raffles and things like that. So this was just me brainstorming and mind mapping that out, and then also kind of rapid logging or brain dumping some other things that I was thinking about that we might need for the event. And then we move on to this week. So this week, you can tell I've been filling everything out. I've been following my plan. I've been getting things done, feeling a lot better this last week of March. So I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping that that continues into April. And even though I haven't been feeling on the top of my game, like content-wise, like posting videos and blog posts and all that, I have been getting a lot done towards some of my goals for this year. One of those is to create some new digital products. So you'll see on this next page, one of the main things I've been really wanting to do is to create a digital planner. So this was where I was kind of drafting out some ideas on what I would like that to look like. My problem with pre-printed planners has always been that there's not enough flexibility. So I'm trying to find a happy medium between a little bit of structure and plenty of space to be creative and expand and kind of do your own thing. So for the longest time, I've been playing around with the idea of making a physical planner, like a ring-bound planner that kind of walks that line between a little bit of structure and plenty of room to play and be creative. But as I started kind of thinking about that and planning it out, I kind of stumbled into the world of digital planning. There's a lot of people out there planning digitally on their iPad with apps like Procreate and GoodNotes. So I've been kind of learning the ropes of that and designing my own planner. So I've got up on the screen, I've got a short little clip of what I've been working on so far. And it's kind of become like my obsessive passion project at the moment. It's what I'm working on almost consistently whenever I'm not working on creating new products for the shop or doing stuff for the blog or YouTube. So that's been pretty much my life this last week, is working on this digital planner. I've also been creating my own fonts out of my handwriting and some other different fun fonts that I've been working on. Like I've been working on a bounce lettering font. I've also been working on a font that I'm calling Berry Bubble. And I say working on, but it's actually finished. It's a font that looks like these titles right here. Just a lot of fun digital stuff that I've been learning and kind of being creative in that way when I'm just feeling like I have low energy and I don't want to be up and moving around and creating and doing things. I've been working digitally on my computer and my iPad. So it's been kind of an outlet for my creativity when I don't really have the energy to pull out all of my tools and toys and get creative in that way. All right, so we are going to move on to setting up for April. So I'm actually going to turn the page and I'm going to set up my monthly spread right here. So we're starting on page 150 for April, and I am going back to a very traditional bullet journal layout for the month of April. So you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm kind of going way back in time to the layouts I used to do a long time ago. I'm going to do the traditional monthly log here on the left. I'm also going to do a 1 line a day where I can just journal a tiny little bit. And then after that, I'm going to have my gratitude spread on the left, and then I'm going to have my habit and mood tracker on the right-hand side. All right, so I'm going to pop on some music for you and get to planning. right, so that is it. Like I said, I kept it super, super minimal this month. So I have my monthly log for the month of April. I've already written in some major events that are happening this month that I already know about. Throughout the month, I can add in any appointments or notes from that day. On the right-hand side, I have a 1 line-a-day spread. This is where I'm going to come in and just jot down one line of something that happened that day, a memory or something that I want to remember. After that, I have my gratitude spread, which again, I'm just going to fill up with doodles, hand lettering, and whatever strikes me that day. And then finally, I have my habit tracker and my mood tracker. So I kind of went back to my old style on this one, just really, really simple. So I'll mark off my habits every day throughout the month of April. And then I've got my moods here for the month as well. And I decided to do 3 boxes like I've been doing on my weekly spreads. So I have 1 box for morning when I wake up, midday, and evening. I decided not to keep my mood tracker on my weekly spreads going forward. I just found that I really like seeing the month as a whole at the end to kind of see how my moods fluctuated throughout the month. And that is going to be it. The very next page is going to be my first weekly spread, which I'll be setting up on Sunday to get ready for the week ahead. And yeah, like I said, extremely simple for the month of April. I hope you enjoyed watching along. As always, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments section below. I'll be more than happy to join in the conversation down there. And I am cautiously optimistic about how great I've been feeling the past week. I'm really hoping that it sticks and I'm back to normal, and I'm really looking forward to producing a lot more content for you all, especially finishing the fountain pen series, and then I have another fun series kind of up my sleeve after that for you. I hope you all have a great, great rest of your Thursday, an amazing weekend, and I will look forward to seeing y'all soon. Bye.